Hello teacher, hello classmates. Well, today I'm going to talk about my final oral presentation. So for my presentation I had prepared a little schedule. We have the schedule as we can see. For example, we have in the first step, choose the theme, second, introduction, third, we have the steps of the scientific design of experiments. So first, let's go over the first step, choose the theme. Why I did decide this topic? Well, I have many reasons. The first reason is because I am an industrial engineer, so I have a little experience and have trained in this. The second is because I carry out my master degree in industrial engineering too. So we have a subject that we can, so we study design of experiments, scientific design of the experiments. So in this area, we are able to understand what is going to happen or how it works when I gonna do an experiment. So for this reason, I have decided this topic. So I'm gonna try to explain you the most clearly I can for you understand, because it's a little bit hard, maybe confused. So let's go over. Introduction, like a second step, is actually nowadays the companies are focused in improve the understanding the customers and improve the quality of the products they produce from a raw material to a final product. But what is gonna happen inside this process? What is gonna happen with the customer? What is gonna happen with the product? The real life indicates that we have to do many experiments or many tries to be or to understand what is going to happen. So for this reason, the people and the companies that are successful, like for example NASA, Rheinmetall from Germany, we have Sony, we have Toyota, other kind of examples are Chevrolet, we have Ford, we have many kind of successful companies that have applied or have been applied design of experiments or scientific experiments, in other words. The scope for experimental designs, we have a lot of scope, a huge different kind of areas. For example, we have in this area, we have medicine, we have food, we have constructions, we have pharmaceutical. Well, really, the design of experiments have been or started in the medicine, in the pharmaceutical. So, okay, I'm gonna start with the third step. The third step is we have in the third step how to develop a successful scientific experimental design. I have to talk a little bit one author. The author from these steps are Montgomery Ruggell. He's a doctor from Arizona University from the United States. So this doctor have developed these strategies and these methodologies to apply in different companies. These companies have been applied and be successful for these steps in design of experiments. Like I said, NASA, Rheinmetall, Sony, in other more. So let's go over the first step. The first step is a choice or problem, or define or problem. So what's going to happen? What do we have to do in this step? We have to understand. We have to understand what is gonna happen with our company. If we have problems with this product, if we have problems in the process, if we have problems with the customer, all these factors maybe can be experiments. So for this reason, we have to define what is our problem. As we can, or as we have or defined our problem, we continue with the second step. The second step is choice or responsible variable. Our responsible variable, for your understanding, more comprehensive, is, for example, our variable response maybe can be physics. In physics terms, for example, a weight, a speed, a temperature, degrees, any kind of variable response. But we have other kind of variable response, for example, qualitative, continuous, discrete. So it's a high yield. We have the variable response, so we have to select the third steps or factors. Or factors is practically is like a recipe. It's like a recipe where we have, for example, salt, we have sugar, we have oil, we have water. So this is a mix from factors. These factors is inside or problem, like in the start, like in the first step. Excuse me. So we have the third step. So now we have to design. We have to choose what is our design of experiments that we are gonna develop. This step is a little bit deep, and we have to have we have to give or have a deep knowledge or many training about design experiments, because all the people can do it. Only the people who has been trained about it is able to develop or able to maybe carry out our design experiments. Well, for this reason, the author Montgomery Ruggell have been developed these steps for any people, any person can just read a book and try to have a successful in this experiment. Well, in the final step is conduct experiment. Practically, the conduct experiment, we can manipulate our factors or manipulate our receipt. For example, manipulate our salt, manipulate with sugar, with different kinds of amount, with a measure maybe. Okay, right now. But it's an important aspect in these five steps. What happened? The design experiments, the purpose is understand what is going to happen with the problem, with our variable, and with it we can do a forecast from the variables, from our results. But just think that if we have just one experiment, we are not able to understand what is going to happen. So for this reason, we have a design of experiments with the purpose to understand in the step 6, the statistical analysis. So many people in the age have developed these softwares for benefits to the human beings. So with a statistical statistical analysis in the step 6, practically we have the results from the number 5. So we have to collect or save in the base of data, maybe in a book, maybe in some notes. For the main idea is to collect this data. This data is going to process in the Minitab, for example, is a software, statistical analysis software. So we have results. We have results in these softwares, and we can understand what is going to happen. Okay, this is going to happen with our problem, and with customer, and with product. So now are able to forecast for the future, and with this we can do our conclusions in the first and the seventh step, like the final step, our conclusions and recommendations with our results in the statistical software. So teacher, if as you can understand or see, it's a deep knowledge, is not easy, but it's not impossible. So I hope you are understanding me, and let's go over in the next session. Bye bye.